Okay, we're live now, right? Yeah, I can see the count.
Yes.
Um, is there a place I'm going to be seeing the number of participants?
No.
Okay, just let me know when I should start talking. I don't know
Start.
if you are going to give them. I should just start.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to this webinar, and I'm so grateful to see you here today. Yeah. Okay, my name is Okechukwu Mesoma, and on this webinar today, you're going to be learning a lot. You know, the difference between two people are the information they have access to. The more you expose yourself to informations like this, the more you stand out in society that that is very competitive, and then people are looking for way forward. The more you stand out in Okay, without taking much of our time, so sorry for the cut off. I welcome you all to West to Wealth program. This
Thank
program
you.
is specially made to build sustainable business through recycling. Okay, so before we go further, I would like to introduce the CEO of WastePro Alliance, WastePro Global Alliance, Mr. David Idako, to take his opening speech.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We heartily welcome you to this session today. WastePro Global Alliance is a non-governmental organization and is also a sustainability-driven platform dedicated to advancing environmental stewardship, the circular economy, and climate resilience through innovative waste management solutions, environmental education, advocacy, capacity building, and strategic partnership. The Alliance is committed to transforming waste into wealth by promoting resource recovery, recycling, and sustainable production and consumption practices, and also to create economic opportunities while protecting the environment. It works collaboratively with governments, private sector organizations, educational institutions, communities, development partners, and even civil society to build cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable society. That is what we stand for. WastePro Global Alliance champions the transition from the traditional take, use, dispose model to a circular economy where materials are recovered, reused, recycled, and reintegrated into productive value chains. His program emphasizes environmental compliance, ESG performance, green entrepreneurship, youth and women empowerment, climate action, and sustainable urban development, and also even recent initiatives in the case of launching of you know our circular economy roadmap for Nigeria. We are here to promote what we call a new change. One thing about life is that some people are very, very, they have this, what they call it now, a form of what you call, what some people doesn't like change. Let me use that word in a simple manner. Some people doesn't they resist change. But we want to create a change in our society where people can begin to see waste as something of value. So we are promoting environmental education in schools. We're supporting waste to wealth enterprises. We're expanding community-based resource recovery program. These are the things WastePro Global Alliance is into. Our core focus is circular economy development, integrated waste management, recycling and resource recovery, environmental education and public awareness, climate change mitigation and adaptation, ESG and corporate sustainability solution, green jobs and youth empowerment, women economic empowerment through the circular economy, environmental policy advocacy, community development and capacity building, research, innovation, and green technology promotion. All of these are what WastePro Global Alliance is known for. Our mission statement states that we are here to inspire sustainable environmental transformation by promoting innovative circular economy solutions, environmental education, strategic partnerships, and inclusive green development that improve livelihood and protect the planet. And the vision, like I said earlier, is to become Africa's leading alliance for circular economy innovation, environmental sustainability, and climate smart development, creating resilient communities where waste is recognized as a valuable resource rather than a burden. And we have some strategic objectives we have set. And one of those is to promote waste segregation, recycling, and resource recovery. One, support governments and industries in achieving environmental compliance and ESG goals, build environmental consciousness through education and advocacy, create sustainable green jobs for youth and women, foster partnerships that accelerate climate action and the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, drive investment in circular economy, infrastructure, and innovation. Then we are here to strengthen community resilience through sustainable environmental practices. All of these are what we have come to do. So tonight, we welcome you to this meeting. It's an engaging moment. We have a renowned and an experienced industrialist, an expert in the environmental field who has been practicing for over 30 years. Over 30 years, of course. I mean that, over 30 years. He has been in the industry for over 30 years and he has done a lot. He has a company called Matra West. He's a CEO. Tonight, you'll be hearing from an experienced voice. You'll be hearing from somebody who understands the business. You'll be hearing from someone who has been in the industry for many decades. So I welcome you. And I said tonight, be ready to join this force to transforming waste into wealth and building a sustainable future. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you for that warm welcoming introduction of WastePro Global Alliance. And if you're just joining us, this is West to Wealth webinar. This program is specially made for you to build sustainable business through recycling. So you are actually at the right place at the right time. So I just want you to do something for me. On the comment section, just introduce yourself. Let's know where you are streaming from, your name and where you are streaming from. I can see John Abdullah. Sorry if I did not, I did not pronounce your name very well. Okay. The program is still on, and grab your popcorn, your snacks, and your drinks. Sit tight and stay with us. All right. So this is who we are with the introduction that came with Mr. David, and I just want to welcome the CEO himself, the MD of Mantra West Limited, in the person of Mr. David Benu, to take us through the um, lecturing session of this program this night. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for
Good evening, sir.
the wonderful introduction from Mr. David and yourself.
Thank
I
you, sir.
I'm very honored to be here. So for tonight, I am not going to be your lecturer. I am just going to be a businessman who knows how to turn waste into wealth. My focus is more on the business aspect of it and how people can engage meaningfully in the waste business. Now, from my experience in the industry, I don't see waste. When people say waste, yes, we call it waste because that is what it's termed as. But what I see money. And that's all I want to talk about today. And also how to open up people's mind to see where the money is. Because in the economy that we find ourselves today, you're going to hear about money, 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 money from me, which is one of my strongest point or my strongest viewpoint for people to understand what we are here to do tonight. Now, I will start by one of the industries one arm of the waste that I have so much love, and people don't really know so much about it except if you are in the oil and gas industry. And I also touch on another aspect of waste, which is more likely something that is not very familiar in Nigerian setting. So enjoy yourself, relax as I take you through the journey and the slides. So as you can see from my first page, it clearly states about waste to wealth. My name here right there is here. And I'll move to the second slide. And as you can see, what if this mountain of waste was worth millions? That's an hypothetical question. Now, if you look around you, you can see a lot of waste. You can see a lot of piles upon piles of waste around you. And for every normal non-industry person, we call it waste. But when I drive around, all I see is money. And now, how do we turn this that I'm seeing as money and other people are seeing it as waste? How do we turn it into money? That process of turning it into money is exactly why I am in business today. I see piles upon piles of waste, but I see it as money. You can, if you go to, there are some locations where we see, you go to some sites in Nigeria, and as you drive by, you can easily see what we call piles of waste. Now, the greatest thing that this economy the circular economy is doing is not to see waste, is to see money. And across board, there are tons of waste generated across board every day. Every single day, we generate waste. And what I see is we generate money. But the only reason why it does not turn to money is the process. of which we can turn into money. So waste in this economy is no longer waste, it's wealth. As you speak, you can tell that, just give me a minute. So as we speak, in the US, I did a research and I realized that my cell phones is a gold mine. I have about 5, 6 cell phones that I don't use. See that they are old or they're broken, and I just dump them and I get a new one. And then we have this, let me say, we have the attitude of trying to get the newest thing, you know, and then we forget about the old things. But in our circular economy today, in our phones, we have gold, we have silver. There's a process in America here where you take all your old phones into that facility. And then at the end of the day, they come out with gold bars, they come out with silvers, and they sell these gold bars back into the market. Now, the extraction process is exactly what circular economy is all about. Before, we can get our old phones, pile it, and then trash it. I've done that. A lot of people are also must have done that as well. But as you speak today, your old phones is no longer waste. It's a gold mine. Now, imagine setting up a processing plant in Nigeria. We are a 200 plus million people. Imagine the amount of phones that get broken. Sometimes we don't want to fix them. Sometimes we just throw them out, into the land, field. Imagine having a processing plant in Nigeria that can turn this process into gold bars. Automatically, you are creating jobs, you are creating revenue. And I can tell you, it's a lot of money just on that aspect alone, just for phones. Now, well, I can call it electronic waste, basically. So what we see as waste is not waste. And now, waste is not a cost, it is an inventory, like I said earlier. If I have a processing plant and I have electronic waste, that is an inventory. For me, it's no longer waste. You can see from here, from the research that I did and the data that is available, this is a 4.5 trillion US dollar industry. 4.5 trillion. Not billion. By 2030, this is going to be, waste industry will be a 4.5 trillion dollar industry. How many industry in this world today can be boastful of a 4.5 trillion dollars? I don't know so many. I don't know many few. I don't know many. But waste is already on that line. Now, how do you become a partaker of this? That is exactly why we are here. And I can tell you also From the research and data that are also generated from Nigeria, we have a $250 billion industry in Nigeria, which is the green economy. Now, that's a very broad statement that I just made, but I can't break it down because probably maybe as we go on, I'll break it down into different sections so that you can understand what I mean by $250 billion industry. Now, that alone is a market, untapped market that is waiting. Now, who is it waiting for? People like you and I. Who are the pioneers of this industry? As I speak to you, the first pioneer of this industry that I'm seeing so far is where we are right now, this platform. So we are gradually turning what we think used to be useless into a $250 billion industry. Now, where waste becomes money, because I love money, so I talk more about money. Now, if you see from my slide here, you can see from waste to collection, to sorting, to processing, to manufacturing, and then to revenue. This whole process is exactly what I said a while ago. You get your waste, what you call your waste has now become an inventory. Well, by collection, it's an inventory. And when you take your inventory in, what do you do after you get your inventory? You sort them. And when you sort them, you take them into your processing plant, like what I said earlier about your processing plant. And then you manufacture it into whatever you want. If you want it into gold bars, if you want silver, if you want it to recycle it into, what do you call it? You recycle them into anything that you want, depending on what your processing plant can do. And the good thing about this industry is that you can recycle waste to different things that you want. You can recycle waste to different things that you want. So that is one of the reasons why I love this industry so much. For instance, let's say you have your PET bottles, and let's say, let me just use the local way of refining, right? You have your PET bottles, you heat them up in a pot, your regular pot, because everything, usually most of the recycling businesses have to go through a heat process, right? Now, you put it in your regular pot, burn them, heat them up to maybe 300, 200, whatever, and you can turn that PET bottles into tiles just by putting it in a mold, and then you can use it to do your tiling, public ways, sidewalks, museums, just the public space generally. Now, usually Nigeria don't even have sidewalks. If we decide to focus on recycling PET bottles into pavings, stones, right? And then we use it for sidewalks. What does that even, what that industry alone, just the sidewalk industry, you send a proposal to every state and tell them that this is what you have. And this is what you can do. And you want to beautify the industry and tell the people, okay, you want to beautify your state. And this is what we can do with our facility. You bring the government officials into your facility to see what you can do. When I mean facility, I'm basically trying to say the local facility, just having a big pot, one heavy big pot somewhere, and then heat it up, right? And then they see what you can do, what the final product comes out. I'm telling you, just you as a local refiner or as a local recycler, you are still going to make money. So the industry is broad, the industry is mature, it's just waiting for people to bring in money to invest in the industry. That's exactly what it is. Now, if you can see tire waste here, the tire waste can give you different stream of revenues, right? You can remove them from use. If tires are also used for paper, for you can recycle the wires that comes out of it, and then you shred them, and then you can use them as also for playgrounds, public playgrounds. You can use them for basically tires can be reused and remodeled into something a different source of revenue. So everything that we see as waste is no longer waste in this circular economy. This is about the phone that I talked about earlier. You know, uh, as you can see here, 1 million old phones can give you 34 kg of gold, can give you 350 kg of silver, can give you 15 kg of palladium, and can give you 16 tons of copper. Now, let's do a math with this data that I have here. How much is 34 grams of gold? If you do that by what the market price is as of today, that is not small money. The same thing with silver. So what we see as old phones that we trash is now the revenue that we can all see here. So just by recycling 1 million old phones, this is what you can have. You know, and that is money right there. Richer than the mine itself. Now, 1 ton of ore, a few grams of gold. 1 ton of circle board is 40 to 800 times more gold. I still talk about because a lot of people, I know that some people might not even have an idea that gold is part of the things that we use to manufacture our foods. I know so many people because I have spoken to a lot of so-called elites, and they had no idea that gold is part of the things that we use to manufacture our foods. Now, taking it back home. Now, this is where I started my statement with the oil and gas industry. My core area in the waste industry is the oil and gas industry. That is my competence. That is where I focus on. Right now, we're just about to branch out into other aspects. That's why we're talking about owning different facilities, recycling facilities for this new aspect that we're headed. So, Mr. David, I don't want to talk too much about this part aspect because we have a lot of knowledge about this aspect, which is why we are here. And for the people, for our viewers who are actually watching and listening at the moment, we have what we call, in the oil and gas industry, we have what we call the drilling phase before we can ascertain anything called crude. We have to do a drilling campaign. And during your drilling campaign, you generate a lot of waste, mud cuttings. We take those cuttings into our treatment plant. We have a treatment plant called a thermal desorption unit. It goes through the heat process, it goes through the separation process, and then we can recover the process can recover your base oil, and then you can recover reusable solids. And it comes in a dust where we can use the dust for interlocking and so on. So this is a more complex explanation, but just have to put it there for people to understand the industry that we are in from. And then we also have
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry about the glitch. We are having a glitch at the moment, but we are coming back very shortly. And for now, I just want you to put down your questions. If you have any question to ask, please put them down on the comment section. We're going to take out all your questions one after the other. We're going to take all of your questions um, very soon because we are rounding up already. So please sit tight. The program continues. Okay, so the weather is very bad, like I said. So sorry about the glitch, and we are working on it. We are going to get back very soon. And for those of you that have not joined our WhatsApp group, please kindly join our community. We have a community on WhatsApp where we share values, we share things that can help you. We collaborate and rub mind together. It's something that you would like to experience. Okay, so the link to our WhatsApp group is on the comment section as well. Just click on it and join our WhatsApp group as we wait to bounce back. This internet is really giving us a hard time. Like I said, I need your questions to start coming in. If you have any clarification, or if you want him to throw more light on any angle of this webinar, please indicate on the comment section. We're going to attend to each and every one of them. And also, what have you learned? What stood out for you? I've heard so many things this night and it's been an eye opening. There's something about waste that I keep wondering. Most times we see it and pass, and then um it looks like a dirty business to some persons. But then the truth is that even the crude oil, if you go where they're drilling, if you see the process, it's not as rosy as the money. It's not as some people will tell you that oil money they sent, the production process is not as sweet as. So you can as well have that perceive waste like that. Like, just accept that this thing has to go through process and whatever it takes and in for it. Do you get? If you make up your mind that this, sometimes, I wanted to ask a question. I asked the question already, but I have to answer myself the question. I was like, okay, sir, please, what does it take to set up a waste to start up a waste recycling business? And within me, I still answer the question. It starts by picking, if you're interested in plastic, you start gathering them. If you're interested in metals or electronic waste, you start gathering them. You must not enter street. If you're a big boy, like, you are a big boy, you don't want to fall your steez, you can arrange people to be bringing it to you just have a space. Oh yeah, if you bring waste, I'm going to give you this amount. If you can gather this you don't need to enter street. This is business. And the one that stood out is the side where he was sharing the amount in trillions that this business model is capable of delivering. Somebody said I'm looking for a job. Ah, now this is what we are talking about. I'm looking for a job. Now this is the opportunity, right? You will become the CEO. You can even, in the next 3 years, you can even be the one employing people to come and work with you. Do you get? So just join our WhatsApp community and make sure that you are where this information are being shared constantly. Do you get? Cut soap, nine be this so. Uh, we are waiting for the speaker to come back because of the network glitch. So if you are looking for a job, um, this is something that you can do. But some persons that I know, someone that is doing this as full time, like not someone far away, like my cousin brother. Think about it that this boy is earning more than me. Because the kind of things he's doing alone go tell you say, things they solve for this guy business. Do you understand? So if you are looking for a job, you have the time. It's even now is the best time to engage with business like this, because if you say you want to do it as side hustle, your boss might have a lot of activities for you that you will not even have time for that so-called side hustle. Do you understand? So thank God for this information. Thank God that we are at the right place at the right time, that we are exposed to things like this. So I think I suggest that if you're looking for a job, this could be the prayer answer. This could be a prayer answer to you. Please, um can your training, I didn't understand. Okay. Can you training me can you training well me in this? Please, can you rephrase yourself? I maybe you're trying to say, can somebody say you were Ezekiel? I'm trying to get what you said. Are you saying, can we train you well on this? Okay. Bolua said he's already part of the community. So be in touch with us, because what we are doing in this that no matter where. So this is just one of the sensitization webinar that's going to enlighten you and put you on the right track. But someone needs money to start. So yes, there's always a place of little beginning. You need money to start. Yes, I understand that. Okay, we are back. Our speaker is back. Mr. David, are you here now?
All right. Good evening, everybody. So the speaker is experiencing a network issue. So I would, I think I will take it from here, pending when he returns. All right. So
Okay.
on this particular slide, it says hazardous waste turn to revenue. So if we if we look at this slide, we can see that um okay, okay. So in the before scenario, companies deal with things like oil contaminated coatings, but this is hazardous to handle and incredibly costly to dump. It's like a massive expense to carry. But then if we look at the after scenario, with the right circular model, that base oil is recovered and reused in mud. The clean solids are turned into construction aggregates. So you're not paying to throw it away, you are generating revenue from recovered assets. So, as Mr. Benu perfectly put it there, the disposal bill becomes a recovery check. So, we'll look at the um, other slide. So, actually didn't prepare for this, but we just have to improvise at this point. All right. So, for the other slide, today's garbage, tomorrow's energy. So every single day, our markets and homes generate massive amounts of organic waste. We usually call it garbage, but the slide shows the true first. You take that food and market the waste. Next, it gets digested and composted. And then finally, it becomes high value fertilizer and clean energy. So this more of like if you want to go into let's say agriculture, for instance, right? So you can there's what we call composting, right? Where the organic waste like food can be buried under the ground, and that's composting. So you can take that, and instead of using synthetic fertilizers, right, that can actually damage the environment, this can come in handy. And also there's what we call biomass energy, right? So it's a form of clean energy as well. So you see, what we used to see before as organic waste, something we used to throw away, now can be transformed into clean energy. And I can also cite examples, like for instance, China is currently running out of garbage. Yeah, I know. Like they are actively looking for waste to process. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're looking for waste to process. And now they are even asking neighboring countries to bring waste to them, because why? They have transformed waste into a form of energy, right? It's a whole lot of process though, and I really can't take you all through that right now. But then the bottom line is that organic waste can be turned into compost, which can be used as an alternative to fertilizer. And also, when we talk about biomass energy, organic waste can also be transformed into that. So, I'll be moving next to the other slide. Okay. So, the circular economy and this is the entire foundation of what we are talking about tonight. Like, to be very honest, this is what WastePro, this is part of our mandate. This is one thing we stand for, right? The circular economy, where I call the circular economy the zero waste strategy. Like, don't leave out any waste. You understand? Don't leave out any waste. We continue to use that waste, right, without making it look like a burden. All right. So if you look at the slide, it says take, make, and dispose. That is what we have been doing. For instance, there are some of us, we buy something from the supermarket. Let's say, let me use let's say a plastic bag, for instance. We use it, then we dispose it, right? And then it takes years for that plastic waste to degenerate. It takes a whole lot. But then the circular way is saying that, you know what? If you buy this, and to be very honest, right, I'm actually against the use of plastic bags, right? But then the circular way is saying that you use a particular product, right? Then instead of you throwing it away and then probably these waste finding their ways into water bodies, right? We can recover them, and this is where WastePro comes in, right? This recovery. So you can see a lot of plastic bags, bottles, ceramics. You can see them littered all around the place. But then WastePro is coming into like, okay, you know what? This is a nuisance, right? This waste is a nuisance. We want to take it and then try to transform it into something else. All right. So, and that takes us to remake. So you're trying to remake a product, or a waste rather, right? It's you transforming it from what it used to be like to something else, right? So you use it again. Now, the way it is that you've transformed that thing into something else, right? So that thing becomes useful to us, because according to some people, waste is what is not useful to you. So what is not useful to you can be of, like, it can be a treasure to another person. That's the way I see it. What is not good for you and you have discarded it is a waste to you, but another person can see that same waste and say, wow, this is a treasure. So that is how WastePro looks at waste, right? A lot of people see it as, this thing is a nuisance, but we don't see it that way, right? So we are championing the circular way. The new mindset is this circular economy, where we recover this waste, we transform it, and then we use it again. All right. So moving on to the next slide. Oh my God. So let me look at this. So mantra waste, exactly. So mantra waste is also like an environmental industry, right? So they champion environmental campaigns and awareness. So, and it was actually the CEO before he went off. He's the founder of Mantra Waste. So they also turn waste into value, right? And that was why he was trying to make us understand the value in waste. He was mentioning billions, millions. He said in 4.5 billion can be gotten from waste in 2030. That's so huge, right? So it's high time we stop seeing waste as what it used to be like. All right. So Mantra Waste turns waste into value, and it's an indigenous Nigerian environmental services and engineering. So what they do is waste management, pollution control, and let me even explain more on this pollution control. Now, you see, most of this waste that we discard, right, in probably, let's say, a dump site or a landfill, okay, let me use the landfill, they emanate what I call methane, right? And this methane is actually a dangerous gas. To be very honest, it's a dangerous gas, and it also contributes to global warming. Now, let's take it away from global warming. Let's even talk about how this pollution can affect human health, right? So you see, this waste management can help us control the pollution. That's air pollution. So I think these two are intertwined in a way. Then we move into produced water management. So when we talk about produced water management, now this is the engineering aspect of what Mantra Waste actually does. So produced water, a lot of people might be like, okay, what is produced water? So produced water is like, you made mention of drilling, right? So when you drill, what's it called? You explore oil, or doing oil drilling, right? So there is this type of water that comes with the crude oil, right? So when it goes through what's it called, this whole fractional distillation, and then the remaining part of the crude is about to be disposed, there's this particular water that can be gotten from crude. Now this water is not good. You can't just dispose it into a water body, because, to be very honest, right, if you do that, Nostra will come and hold you. Yes, that's just the simple truth. Nostra will come and hold you. So this produced water is like water gotten from crude. All right. Yes, you can get water from crude. So the mantra waste can actually help in managing that and bringing the limit to the lowest, or to the acceptable standard. Then major construction, which we all know, probably talking about what's it called, maybe construction of bridges, houses. So that's for mantra waste. So moving on to the next slide, where the big money is. Okay, recycling plants. Well, plants, sorry, WastePro is actually looking at establishing different recycling plants across the major cities in Nigeria. All right. So once you have this plant set up, right, you can now start processing plastic waste, ceramic, glass, anything at all that can be transformed into something useful. So yes, once you have a recycling plant, there is a high chance that you can start making money from that. Then waste to energy, just like I explained, right? Using the China example, not just China, there are a lot of countries that are actually doing that, right? Then produce water management, produce water treatment. That too is also where you can actually get a lot of money from. So the next slide, start small, start now. So a lot of people want to feel ready before they start. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges that we humans face, right? We want to be like, oh, we are prepared. We want to like wait till everything is set before we start doing that thing that we so much desire, right? Away from waste, even in our normal or daily lives, right? There are so many things we want to achieve, but because we feel we are not ready, or maybe the funds are not there, or maybe one or two things are holding us back. So we want to feel ready before we start. But he is saying that you can start with the little you have, and then you can scale things up later. So pick one way stream. That's the first advice. So it could be plastic, tires, e-waste, or organics, right? So I think I've cited these examples a couple of times. So any of them is fine. So when you even talked about e-waste, he made mention of gold. Yes, that's very, very correct. Gold, because your what's it called? Your cell phone, yes, it contains a minute amount of gold that during if you discard that phone, right, and we have what's it called, scavengers, waste scavengers, those people you see walking around picking your waste, yeah, we call them waste scavengers, right? So when they take that phone, rather, they can extract the gold from it, right? Yes, it might be small, but imagine getting that minute amount from about, let's say, 100,000 phones. That's a whole lot, right? So that's by the way. Then to find your buyers first. Yes, you can't just start a business without actually knowing the people that will come and patronize you. All right. So the third one is collect, sort, and sell. Yes, before you actually sell, you need to find the waste, and you need to like separate the biodegradable waste from the non-biodegradable. So when we say biodegradable, that's like organic waste. Then the non-biodegradable, sorry, I'm speaking very fast, is the plastic, the tires, the e-waste, So you can collect, that's the third step, collect, sort, and sell. Then the fourth one is reinvest and scale. Yes, you see, there's no crime in having multiple recycling plants, just the same way WastePro Global Alliance. That's what we intend to achieve in the nearest future, right? So you can reinvest whatever proceeds you get from what you've sold, right? And then inject it back into your business so that you can grow bigger. All right. So, oh my God, I didn't prepare for this, but the next slide, stop seeing waste, start seeing wealth. Well, I think he has explained this a couple of times. So every tone in every tone is an opportunity, and the time to build it is now, right here in Africa. Yes, don't look at Africa as, oh, we are a third, what's it called? Should I call it a third world continent, right? So fine, China is already, transforming their waste to energy and probably seeing the economic impact of that, and other countries, I think Sweden as well, right? But then nothing is too big for Africa to actually achieve, right? Or Africans rather. So um, we can start to build it now. All right. And let me even make another example. You see, Rwanda, for instance, right, is actually the cleanest country in Africa as we speak. And you see, most times when we talk about the cleanest countries in the world, we mention countries like France, Luxembourg, and the rest, like Switzerland, right? But then we have should I call it a trailblazer in Africa, which is Rwanda, who, has actually tried to prove to everyone that an African country can be clean. All right. So using that as an example, Joe, but then back to stop seeing waste and start seeing waste. Yes, it can actually start from you, right? Coming from Africa shouldn't limit you. So, um, well, that's the end of the slides, and I think we've come to the end of this presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Progress, for coming through for us. Network planned it, but then we won. Okay. To our audiences, how has it been? I'm seeing lots of questions on the comment section, and we are going to attend to each and every one of them. Somebody said, "How can we market them? How can we market all of this waste?" I don't know if you can throw more light on that, Mr. Progress. Yeah, it has been an awesome webinar. I've learned a lot. Stop seeing waste, start seeing wealth, right? Okay, before we
Okay,
go to
please,
the
can
next
you?
question, let's take the first one. How can we market them?
Okay, so to market your waste, right? The truth is that um, I don't know the size of that recycling business, right? If it is a small one, right? So I would suggest that that particular waste you probably sell it to a bigger recycling enterprise that can actually recycle that waste, right? And then whatever you make from that, you can start gathering your own money to purchase the recycling plant, right? That's if you are, probably operating from a small angle, like let's say a small scale. But then, if you want to market your business as what's it called, as probably a giant in that particular industry, right? Well, I think that if you want to do that, right, you just have to start recycling them. Okay. So once people see how you transform, let's use maybe you transformed let's say maybe a cloth, right? Or maybe a dress that people discarded. You transformed it into fashion. Yes, yes. I think I finally got what I was looking for. So let's say, for instance, you probably see something that was discarded, right? And then you transformed it into something like a fashion. And then, big brands are seeing it and like, wow, this is beautiful. Like there's this guy on Instagram, I've forgotten his name. That was what I was thinking of, right? It's very popular now. And what it does is it takes discarded materials and then transform them into fashion. And big brands are calling them. So that's a form of business. That's a style of business as well, right? So there are different ways you can actually market this waste business. If you're starting small, I would suggest that okay, you push it to bigger enterprises to help in the recycling. Then whatever you make, you get a recycling plan. Or if you are already at the highest level, right, you can start the transformation yourself. People are watching. So whatever mind-blowing concept you can create from discarded products, right, a lot of people want to get that. All right. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, this is like how best I can
Yeah.
give you an.
Okay. Okay. Like I said earlier, the owner of this webinar presentation had a glitch from his end, and that's why progress have to switch in. So he might not really give you the correct answer or the perfect answer to this, but then I think he really tried to answer the question. And also from my end, me adding to what he said, now, like I said earlier, my cousin is also into this segment of it. He said there is plastic, depending on the one you want to do. You can focus and say that my own is to gather metal, my own is to gather aluminium, my own is to gather copper, right? So if you choose the niche, just like when you want to do business, especially online business, you have to define your niche. So when you decide, you focus on it and keep gathering all of that so that you have more of it. Quantity is the game, right? Quantity is the game. Now they have what they call their dumps. Their dump is like the wholesaler. When you are selling goods, you have distributors, wholesalers, and manufacturers kind of settings. So also in this, we have um the big people, like he said, like Progress said. So those people now, they buy from the small people that are coming to give them, and also them, they compress it and bundle it. I'm sure you must have seen them transporting it from one city to the other, wherever you are living in Nigeria now, because most times people will use net and gather it. Now when they gather it with net, they will get it to a plant where they compress it. It will be pressed together and very easy to package and transport to the next place where they're going to process it. So that's just it. So what you need to do is to discover the nearest waste recycling dump around you, and then reason with them. And for us here at WastePro Global Alliance, we are also working on a project on setting up something like that in every city in Nigeria, to work further on that project. To the next question, we are rounding up already. Said we get, I think, because of relate to you WhatsApp group, you can reach out to him later, and they will throw more light. They will give you the guidance that you need. All right. The next question here is, thank you everyone, Mr. David. Hello, Mr. David, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. I'm here with you. I can hear you, Miss Omar. Please go ahead. Hello, Miss Omar. Can you hear me?
Okay. I think probably there is a glitch from my end. So
Okay,
I'm just going.
so
She's back.
we are rounding up already. Like,
Can you hear me, please, Miss Omar? Any other question?
okay, we are rounding up already. I need you to Hear you.
Okay, I think Miss Oma is having network issues at her end. Please indicate if you can hear me. I don't know if I'm loud at your
Mr.
end.
David,
Can hear
say
me,
you should
please.
round up the
Let me,
program.
let me know you can hear me.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. You know what's going to
All
happen?
right, great.
I'm going to read out the questions. All right.
Please go ahead with the question. Let me quickly answer them. Then
Okay. So it's a question. Please, can you train me well in this waste business because I want to do it as a full-time job?
great. That is a good one. You want to be trained? Of course. WastePro Global Alliance is a place you can belong. You can volunteer to join our workforce. You can volunteer to be a trainee. We induct you and we take you through all that it requires. Now, in this recycling business, there are a lot to benefit. Mind you, there is waste in your corner very well. Every village, every town, every city, you have waste, plastic waste, metal waste, the garbage, the domestic waste, the food waste, the sewage waste, everything that you can name. They're all they all have secondary value and they are all remember our topic for today says waste to wealth. And what it means is that what you thought you were going to throw off now has value. In fact, a lot of value. We have classes of plastics that today are recyclable, a number of them, and people are making money from it. You can start small and grow from there. We have people who are doing just at the very low level, and what they do is they go around to gather all the plastics or all the metals, gather all of those waste, and they sell it off to a buyer who probably have a shredder or a compactor. And what they do, as they buy it from you, you have gotten your own money, they will go ahead and shred it and then palletate it and then sell it to another group of people who are manufacturers who produce plastics or other products from those waste you have sold to them. So you can belong to the first grade, who are the pickers. They buy it in kg, or you belong to the middle, who shred. After sorting, they clean it up and then they shred it and then they palletate it and then sell it off to this who manufacture, who use it to produce new products. And then you can belong to also those who buy those cleaned products and manufacture. Now, the biggest money in waste recycling business comes from those who produce new products, the manufacturers. That is where the biggest money is. That's where the money lies. We have people today who go through the entire flow chart. They have those who picks for them and they bring it to their location where we call waste recycling depot. And then they do the sorting, the segregation, and then they go ahead to shred or recycle it. Sorry, that is palletate it and then break it down into pieces, smaller pieces, or into alloy for the metals. And then we have those who now use it to produce the real product. So there's different categories of waste that we can benefit from. So you want training? Of course, yes, we are here. Try to join the WastePro Global Alliance group and indicate your interest, and then we take you on that specially. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. David, for that wonderful breakdown. So I don't know if you're still in the mood for more questions, but then let's take one more question. Um, so I would like to understand your model. Do you work with individuals only, or can companies establish operations in different states? Also, do you fund such operations?
Okay, funding. Like we have announced to you from the beginning, WastePro Global Alliance, an NGO, is a non-governmental, non-profiting organization. And one of the core value that we give to the society is the promotion of waste recycling projects. We promote it. And when we say we promote, we educate, we create awareness, we bring people to understand how, where, what, all that it involves for you to manage waste and turn it into new products or recycling, like we have been mentioning all through this conversation. Currently, we are partnering with organizations who are into waste recycling to create more value. We do not fund private or individual projects at the moment. But a time will come where that can happen. But for now, what we give is either you belong to the group of those we are promoting, creating more awareness for, and bringing you more or newer technology on how you can turn your waste to products which bring value to you, or you are part of us promoting same. All right. But we also have organizations that give grants. They give grants. They provide resources, funding to people who are ready to go into such projects. If your proposal comes in and it passes through and you qualify, you'll be given a chance. So that is what we are doing at the moment. But we also have sister companies that are into the real work in terms of the recycling projects. Now, WastePro Global Alliance is in strategic partnership or collaboration with organizations that are ready to dive into these projects. And the plan is that in every major city of Nigeria, at least, we are going to establish one waste recycling depot. And that actually means that we're going to be creating jobs. Our partnership with those active collaborators who are going to be the operators of such recycling projects or recycling centers, in turn, provide jobs for women, for youths, and for as many as are ready to work. We have those who do segregation. We have those who do the operators of the equipment and the rest. So there's a lot of opportunity with the waste recycling project that we are into. So we do not fund at the moment, but we'll grow to that point where we can fund that project. But for now, we collaborate with organizations and we ensure that this value is understood and people are ready to take a chance. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. David Idapo. Um, there is another question. I think it's the last question. So, how many people have Waste Pro already established in this business since inception? That's the final question.
Okay, how many people has WastePro established? Like I said in the earlier response I gave, we are not empowering individuals at the moment. We are only collaborating with organizations, industries. We have companies that are into waste management who are also doing these recycling activities in their services that they provide. They turn plastics into new products, that is the waste plastics, and some of them also already have a number of equipment installed that are used for the waste recycling purposes, a number of them. In Port Harcourt, in Warri, we also have one that one of the partners in Uyo, in Akwa Ibom, that is Akwa Ibom State, and also in Cross River, Calabar. We have partners who are already doing these waste recycling activities that we're talking about. And please understand our scope of work. As an NGO, we collaborate, we advocate, and we create awareness. We train people. We give people the opportunity to learn how to turn waste around them into, products that produces money. And that is why we say waste to wealth. We are also promoting the same in schools. secondary schools, and tertiary institutions. We are promoting the same under a club. And some time ago, we had a conversation with some school owners and were able to establish this value to them. And as we hope to create same in all the states of Nigeria, at the end of the day, the goal is that students will become responsible advocates, stewards of the environment by we give them waste bin, waste bags, where they ensure that whatever plastic waste, metal waste, or garbage, domestic waste, food waste that is produced around them are stored in different waste containers. And then we have people who we call the WastePro reapers. WastePro reapers are people, instead of the normal scavengers we have WastePro reapers who are well kitted with all the PPE, the necessary protective equipment. That is like they are on with their safety shoe, with their hand gloves, with their hard hat, with their coverall, with their eyeglass as well, that's the goggle. And we give them the dump truck, that is the waste truck, and the waste barrow, where they bring back all the waste produced in the schools that the students may have gathered in their schools. They bring it together to the waste recycling depot that has been put together in their vicinity. And there will be, I know those waste are paid for based on the tonnage. So if a student is able to gather a waste of maybe close to 1 ton, 2 ton, 3 ton, you multiply the rate applicable to the tonnage, and then you are giving that money. And some, the money can be kept until the next school session is coming up, where they need to pay their school fees, and then the money goes for their fees. So we are trying to make the students, or to motivate the students and make them understand that there is value in those cans that they throw away during their break period when they go to buy food to eat. That is what we're trying to do, to make them responsible also and stewards of the environment, because in the last analysis, at the end of the day, everything that we are doing is to preserve, protect the environment. Mind you, WastePro Global Alliance, an environmental organization, though an NGO, but we are at the front line to ensure that people are trained to understand what they need to do to protect what we have left on the earth. Remember, God created the heavens and the earth, like we know those who are Christians. All those, okay, I think even other religions also understand that there was a God somewhere who created the universe, but he has stopped creating. So we must protect what we have left. We don't want those plastics to end up in the drainages and then go into the ocean, into the water bodies, and then we have these microplastics. Remember that most of the things that we consume on earth here as human come from the rivers, from the water, from nature. And if nature is contaminated, then we are not safe. I think life expectancy in Nigeria at the moment, I think is around 50 something years, or 55, 56, I don't know, 57 or 60 something, somewhere around that circle. But the point is, if we protect the environment and we keep the ocean clean, the aquatic life are healthy, what human eats are healthy, then we can live longer. So waste recycling is an intervention program to prevent human from these early deaths that we are experiencing, the cancer that is everywhere that we have today. So outside the fact that we are making money from waste recycling, we are also saving Mother Earth from further degradation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. David. You've done so well. Thank you for stepping in. So, I think there's one more question, right? So, please, how can I get a job or volunteer in working, and how can I be trained to stand and get a job?
Okay, we have shared our links with you. Join the WastePro Global Alliance community and indicate your interest, and let's take it up from there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. David. So to take us through the next steps and our special call to action, I would like to call on Ms. Mesoma to please close the session for us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, welcome back, sir. Well, our speaker is back. I'm so sorry to not make that announcement since. Our speaker is back, and I think he probably wants to say a thing or two. So, our honorable speaker, please, you can actually, if there's any other thing you want to contribute to this session.
Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes there are some things that are beyond our control. So I had to quickly get a different mode of internet. So I see that we are done with the presentation, and thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I will always be available anytime. We can do this again and again. And thank you for the team and for everyone that is listening and watching. You can have it at the back of your mind that if you're making a decision to go into waste business, you are at the right place and you have the right team to lead you through the whole process. If you have your uncles, aunties who has some money lying down somewhere, you can be the pioneer of the of this project, and then talk to them. Bring your money instead of dumping it in the bank. Bring your money. You have a team that can put the entire process together. If you want us to set up a waste management plant or a recycling plant in every state, and you have the connect to government officials, you have the right people in place that we can talk to, it's easy. That's easy. Talk to us, talk to the team, and we can be in your state in a jiffy. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you very much, our honorable speaker. Yeah, these things happen, and thank you for sharing that with us as well. So, I think that is all the time we have for questions tonight. And once again, I want to say a huge thank you to Mr. David Benu, our guest speaker, and also our convener, Mr. David Idako. And also, yeah, Miss Mesoma, thank you so much for moderating this session. You've done a wonderful job. And to every single one of you who tuned in live and participated in the chat, thank you so much. And don't forget, the link to join our WhatsApp community is right there. And you can check the chat, it's there. And also, you can follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, you can just search for WastePro Global Alliance, right? And just give us a follow and also engage in our post, or rather on our post rather. So remember, execution is the name of the game, right? We've had everything, we've seen the strategies. It's now time for us to implement them. So take the strategies you learned tonight and start building. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. We'll see you next month. This webinar is a monthly it's a monthly thing. It's a monthly thing, all right?
Thank you.
So next month we're still going to host another one. So thank you and God bless you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Have a wonderful weekend.